The line of head, the indications of the mentality, must in all cases be considered as the most important line on the hand. The greatest attention should be paid to it, so as to obtain a clear grasp of mentality under consideration. The two hands must be carefully compared, the left showing the inherited tendencies, the right the developed or cultivated qualities. The slightest change or deviation in making from the left to the right should be carefully noted down or remembered. The direction or the termination or end of the headline should above all be distinctly noted for all the important reason that this shows the direction that the mentality is inclined to develop towards. For example, it found with the end of the line sloping downwards in left hand and having a straight line or lying across the palm in the right hand. The student is safe in concluding that the subject has not been able to follow his natural bent, but by the force of circumstances has been obliged to make himself more practical, to study business methods, and to have undertaken a training towards practicality and level headedness in order to rise equal to the circumstances that he found himself forced to meet. In this way, the student obtains an insight into earlier conditions of the life under examination that is invaluable, especially when there is, as will be found in many cases, no line of destiny visible in early years. If, on the contrary, the line of the head is found exactly in the same position on the right hand or on the left hand, or even very nearly, so the student can be sure that there was little or no strain in the early years, but the subject had easy conditions which were favorable and which allowed him to develop his natural bent of mentality. If, however, it is found that the left hand shows a fork ending in the line of head, namely one end sloping downwards and the other hand straight or nearly so, and that the right hand shows only the straight line, then the student may decide that the subject inherited from the parents two natures, the imaginative and the practical, and that he chose to develop the latter either in the direction of business or science. In such a case, the student may state with confidence that the parents of the subject were decidedly opposite in their characters. If the line has become straight in right hand and subject takes more after the side that was practical, in cases of the boys or men, it must be remembered that they will take more after mother's mental peculiarities, and in case of girls or women, that they generally take after the mental qualities of the father. On a man's left hand that has the forked ending with the upper end straight or nearly so, the student can state that the mother was the more practical of the parents. If on the right hand the same mark has become clearest, the man developed, followed, or cultivated the mental qualities of the mother more than those of the father. When reading a woman's hand, the reverse will apply. If on the contrary the lower line was the more developed on right hand, then the subject, if a man, has developed the imaginative or artistic qualities of the mother, and vice versa if the subject be a girl or a woman. When the line of head looks light or faint on the left and strong and clear on the right, the student can safely state that the subject did not inherit any strong mental bent from either parent, but has cultivated and developed his own mentality. In such a case, the subject had been a hard mental student and has become mentally superior to his or her parents. This is often found in case of self-made men or women who have or had a little or no education in their early life or no in their home, but who from an innate love of education developed themselves mentally. Such a sign would speak volumes for the willpower and ambition of the subject under examination. If the line of the head is higher and poorer on the right hand than on the left hand, the student can state that the subject has not made the most of his opportunities mentally, and that he has not and never will equal the brain power and education of his or her parents. In such a case, one may also be sure that the subject has not very strong willpower, at least mentally, although he might be very obstinate by nature, which will be seen from the quality exhibited by the nail phalange of the thumb. A poor or non-developed line of the head in the right hand of any man or woman is also the indication or a lack of purpose or ambition, there being no ambition where a want of mental desire and development is so distinctly shown. A clean-cut deep line of head is more powerful sign of mentality than when the line is very broad or lying, as it were, merely on the surface of the palm. A wide broad line shows less concentration and a more vacillating, changeable nature. The rule applies with equal truth to all the lines on the palm. Broad, coarse-looking lines are more a constitutional sign than a mental indication. They are often found in cases where the subject leads a robust outdoor life, and those who have developed the physical side of their nature more than the mental. Great brain workers usually have thin, fine, clean-looking lines, and especially that of the line of head. It will thus be seen that the observation the student will be enabled to class the sort of life led by the person under examination. No matter how intellectual a man or woman may look, the lines on the hand will indicate whether or not they have developed their intellectuality. In this way, it will be seen that the study of hand becomes a far more accurate guide than the study of the face. Many men and women may have handsome, intellectual faces and yet prefer sport or outdoor life to any mental pursuit or exercise.